To see my screen, and as usual we will have to log in into our success factor screen that we have it here. So the company ID that we are using is your ace train 37, and this is a company ID that we have it here. I'm going to press enter. Okay, looks like somebody has done something here. This is coming a bit bigger, and then we have your when you enter your password, you will come inside your system. So that's your home page which is going to come. All right. And okay, so all right team, so this is your home page, and last time we already started how we can create the user. And so we're going to see it's like how we can actually create the user. And I told you that there is a file which is known as a UDF file, which is known as a user data file that we have it here. So let's see how we can create this user with the help of a UDF file. Let me see if I don't have any other record with the same account here. Let me delete all these team. Alright, so I'm going to delete all these, this file which is coming here, and I'm going to download the fresh file which I have it here. So you will have to come to your admin center, and from your admin center, you're going to come to your manage employee, and in your manage employee, you can see it's like there's an employee export section that we have it here. And in your this employee export team, there is a two tab which is coming up here. One is the export template and another is a export user file. If you click on this export template, it's only going to download the template for the UDF that we have it here. So for example, here it's like I've just downloaded, and if I open this here, you can see all these file which is coming up here. It only has a label in it, and there is no other detail which is coming up here for the employee. But probably if you're seeing for the first time, it will be a bit confusing to you. In terms it's like what to fill and what not to fill. So that is the reason we have here another file which is known as a export user file. So we're going to click on this, which is an export user file, and once you click on your export user file, just unzip your this particular file that we have it here. And after unzipping it, we going to see it's like all these data which is going to come here. So here you can see all these data and everything which is coming into your this section that we have it here. So let's just, I think we already discussed what is all these label, right? And I was just supposed to create an account here. So since we have few new team member who has joined us today, so I'll just quickly discuss this label once again. So the first label that we are seeing that here, which is coming up here as a status, and you can see this status, it can be of a two type. One, it is coming to be active, and another one is going to be inactive. Inactive means person who's no longer working in the company. So all these people that you're seeing that here, they are no longer into the company that we have it here. So this is what actually is the meaning of active and inactive status that we have it here. Another detail that you're seeing that here, which is a user ID. Now here in this user ID, you can use this as an alphabet, or either you can use this as a number. It's totally up to you. So and where do we use this? We use this, your user ID into your this manager ID. So all these detail, it's like wherever you're seeing that here, like G Walker 1 and C Grant 1. So all these detail that you're seeing that here, this is actually your user ID that they have it here. So in a sense, it's like for example, let's suppose if you have this AAA and you want to make this AAA as a manager for this employee whose name is Jake. So in this case, what you're going to do, you're just going to copy this from here and you're going to put it here. So this is how actually your user ID it works. So let's see further detail what we have it here. We have here another detail which is a user ID, and your user ID, it's nothing team, it's just only used for the login purpose that we have it here. Like for example, you'd have seen it's like when I was logging into the system, the credential that it comes here, that is actually your user ID. So here if I remove your this section, okay, quite surprising, this is becoming small and big. All right, so here you can see it's like this is a username which is coming up here, and So which username it is actually talking about? It is talking about your this username that we have it here. So username is basically it's used for only for the login purpose. Now then we have it here as a first name and your last name. First name and last name, it's a, everybody has their first name and the last name. So this is what exactly, you have your first name and the last name. You can keep your first name, username, and your user ID also to be the same if you want. It's totally up to you. If you want to keep it different also, you can keep it a different also. So that was all these details. So you have it here. Then you also have it here as a middle name. So there are some people who have their middle name, like for example Sanjay Leela Bansali. So his middle name comes to be as a Leela. So in this case, if anybody has their middle name, in this case they can go ahead and use this middle name that we have it here. Apart from this, we also have it here as a gender. So which is your male and female, that you can enter this here. And then you have it your mail ID. So you need to enter your official mail ID into your this section. So whatever your official mail ID is going to be, we need to put into your this section that we have it here. Then another detail that we have it here, which is your manager. And as we I said to your team that here we now here you can see it's like some employee, they don't have any manager. So in this case you can see it's like Helmut, this person does not have any manager in this company. Team, this is a demo system. That's the reason you can see it's like there are many people who do not have any manager. In real time scenario, this will actually not happen. Everybody is reporting to somebody. So in that case, when you will be creating your structure, you will be actually creating it who is reporting to whom. You will start from the top to bottom, and then you will start with the those country level people, and then you'll come to the manager, and then when you'll be defining the team lead, and so they are reporting to this manager. So like this, you will create your all your hierarchy.
Ashish,
Yes, who's this? Kishore.
Shiva here.
Yes, Shiva, tell me.
How this email ID is predefined? Why? Because normally HR system will not
No, no.
activate any.
Right. Yes.
So in this case, email ID, we are just in SuccessFactors, is there any standard format or how exactly the process to be activated with the email?
Okay, now this email ID, Shiva, that you're seeing that here, this is actually a dummy ID that we have it here. So don't get
Uh,
confused between this ID. As I said, it's like it's a demo system, right? So, like for example, if I
Yes.
fill, yeah.
So definitely, if I'm working on TCS, for
Hmm.
example, my name will come as Shivkumar and so at the rate TCS.com. So this
Yes.
email ID, if I'm using SuccessFactors system, how
Hmm.
it will be coming to the system? How it will be generated?
How your TCS ID will be generated? Okay, now TCS ID and everything, team, it is has to be done by your security person, or either not a security person, then your administrator person. The one who's taking care of the network administrator. They are the people who actually create your mail ID and would provide you all these details. What the success factor is doing it while creating your this. So let's suppose I join but another company, maybe in this case we are talking about this TCS. So I joined this TCS company, and the first it's like when I'm going to come, my network administrator team is going to give me the mail ID, and my security team will give me the other detail and every whatever which is required, right? So the same mail ID you're going to put it here. This is not actually generated by the success factor. This is actually it is created by your network administrator team, and you're just putting your this information that we have it here. Like for example, you can
Oh,
see.
okay, sorry. Yeah. Normally, for any onboarding staff, right,
Mhm.
even the email account and the login account will be created by external parties. Like email account will be the FOE team where they will
Yes,
activate your email.
if you
And for the
right, if you have your but even Shiva, I don't think so the network administrator is that area the company outsourced to anybody. But in might be there would be some company who have actually outsourced. So in that case, the third party will actually create their mail ID. See what you can do, you can create your this user ID into your success factor. But your just like your first name, that which is you have it. So same way, this is your company is actually going to create it and provide it to you. All right.
Okay. So that means this file should be uploaded to SuccessFactors once my user account and email ID being created by with some other system.
No, see, user ID, you can give it anything. As I said, it's like in a user ID, you can have it your first name also, and you can have it the numeric also. What, even if not the first name numeric, you can see here it's like this person has a Alex Anderson. In this case, his username is A Anderson, and his user ID it is AAA. What they have given that to you. So if you want, you can have
And
it all. Yeah, Shiva.
my doubt is like if you are talking about user ID creation, right? So
Hmm.
if it is 10 organization like 100 staff, 200 staff, we
Hmm.
can go through line by line. If organization like thousands of staff, right? If
Hmm.
same name and surname can be happen for more than 10 staff, more than 20 staff. In that case, we cannot see the same user account, right? So how exactly that be
Okay.
handled here?
Right. See, there is a two-way you can create your user ID. One way it is, like for example, if you want to create some numeric detail in this case, so you will have to, create your just like you have it your if you if you're coming from the SAP R3 background, you would be having your schema and PCR, right? So same way you'll have to create your in this case in success factor it is known as a business rule. So in this case you will have to create your business rule that whichever id which is getting created it should use some assign some number to it, or maybe it's like you can create a business rule that it should always take the first two alphabet of the first name and whatever the combination that you want to do that. In that case you will have to create the business name. But if you are using the UDF file ship, in that case what will happen, you will have to assign that here something. All right, you will have to provide all these detail that we have it. Okay, now Shiv, what will happen? Once we are done with the level, I will create one account and I'll show that to you how am I going to create all these detail. All right.
Okay,
So
sure,
in
sure.
this case, it will be much more clear to you that I'll take up any person with the some different mail ID and with the different details. So you'll get to see it's like how am I going to create it here. So at this point of time, I'm just discussing a label. After this, once we are done with the label, I'll create an account and I'll show that to you.
Okay, fine. Can.
Right. So then you
Hey,
have yes, Hemlata,
I'm sorry. Yeah,
no problem.
Ashish, I'm sorry, I'm a little confused here. Is this not the data which is being picked from the employee data, like what we used to have in
Yes.
SAP HR in different input types? Is it the same data that is picked from employee data, what we enter at the time of
Yes,
hiring or the
yes,
retirement?
yes, yes, that's true. See, okay, Hemlata, this data is actually true. It is picked from the employee data, but at the time of a hiring, what we are doing it, let's assume, there is a new employee in this case, and we have to do the hiring. So in this case, you can use this UDF file to create an account for this person. All right, hiding that you are talking about it in this case, there's a whole lot of data and everything which is required. In that case, that part of it, we will do that when we will start with the employee central. Okay, so that
Okay.
part of it that comes into your employee central. So what we are doing it, we are just creating an account so that after this, when we are done with the introduction to mastery, then we will start with the goal management and performance management. In that case, you people have your ID to go ahead and work on it.
Okay.
All right, clear.
Okay. Okay.
All right, all right. So any other question, team? Anybody has any other question? Okay. Um, all right. So that.
Shish, it's good.
All right, wonderful. So then, okay, now here let's. If you see that here, we have it here. Oh, and what about Kishore? Okay, team, you can also use the chat option, and in this case, it's like you have this chat option, and if you want to type in something, and if you want to ask in that way, you people can even go ahead and do that also. Okay, let's move on further here, team. Now here you can see it's like you have your this manager, and this manager it's like you can see there is this ID which has been assigned here as a G Walker one, and let's search for the G Walker one that we have it here. And as I told you that this is a user ID, so I'll put that here and I'll find that here into your this G Walker one. Who's the G Walker one? You can see this G Walker one, it is here, and in this case this is a first name and this is a last name. This person name is actually Gina Walker and he's a male, you can see. So this is actually your this user ID what they have done it here. So in this case, let's suppose if you want to assign a manager for this person. Who's this person? Acha, this person, who has created this? Okay, let's take some another ID team. There is no manager assigned in this case, Alan, that we have it here. And this, let's suppose you want to assign a manager. Okay, I think team, let me just open up my own data that you people have it. I think it will be more clear to you people in that case. So let me just filter it out with my mail ID. So here you will see this is a data that we have it here, and here you can see all your account and everybody has it here. Yeah, so here you can see Siddharth is here, then here you can also see Kishore, and then we also have it here as your Shiva, right? So you can see all your this account which is here, and here you can see who's the manager. In this case I am the manager, right? Because my ID, okay, I will have to log into the system, and my ID you can see here, I'm giving that here, this is my user ID that I have it here. And if I log into the system, you will see that your this login detail which is going to come here, it will show you here as a this user ID which is a admin 125. This is what my login ID which I have it here, right? Into the bracket that you see, this is the first name, this is the last name, and this is into the bracket that you're seeing, this is a user this is a user name. I think this is a username, it's not a user ID. So then, so like this, you can see who can be the manager in this case. And and then you can also see there's some different people, it's like they have a different person as a manager. And let's see who is this Ashish. You can see this is Ashish, who's a user ID that we have it here, right? Same it goes for your HR also team. So here also in your HR, if you want to define somebody as a HR, so here you can see it's like somebody coming up here as a BBB, right? So let's see who's this BBB. And if I remove this filter, and if I figure it, okay, let me just figure it out in a first name. Let's see if there is anybody with a BBB. You will see there is nobody. Then if I come here with my username, and if I see that nobody is there with the username also, right? But if I come here, you will see somebody is there with the BBB. So here you can see BBB, it's a Brooke Brown that we have it here. So this is a person who is working there as a HR that we have it here. And if you go ahead further detail, you can see this person is from talent management and human resource that we have it here, right? So let's go ahead further here team. Then you have it your manager, you have it here as a HR, then you have it here as a department. So which all department that your employee actually belongs to here. So you have it your all these department and everything. Then here you have it your job code. Job code, it may be, it's like which is like, for example, in this case we have it here as a project manager. So sorry, I work as a project manager. So in this case, Hemlata, Ashish, your screen is moving little slowly towards, okay, towards, so you need to go little slow please. Okay, is it my screen is moving a bit slow? Is it team that everybody is
Yeah,
feeling the same? uh okay,
No, it's okay on this side.
okay, that's it for Siddharth, it is fine, right? And what about the other people? Shiva, what is for you also, it is moving slow?
No, for me it's fine.
Okay, for you also it is fine for Kishore. Okay, Hemlata, I think maybe it's to do with your internet. So probably you can anyhow. I'll go a bit slow, assuming to be it's like that. No, obviously because we're having a session and it cannot be done anything at this point of time. But probably you need to check your internet speed. But anyhow, team, for today I'll go a bit slow. So right, so here you can see it is your department which is coming up here, and in this case you can see your all these department that we have it here, alliance and everything. Okay, how we can create all these department, that's something again I told you that this is part of a employee central. So we will see that into your employee central how we can create it. Here it is like, we are creating only just an account that we have it here. There could also be possibility, right, team, that we have it here. Like for example, in this scenario, when we discuss about this a success factor methodology, if you remember, we said it's like, that TCS is only going ahead with the goal management and performance management, right? In this case, TCS has not gone ahead with the employee central. So if the company has not gone ahead with the employee central, how will you create an your account for this person? You will create that with the help of the UDF file. Then let's go ahead further. You have it here as a job code, and here you can see your job code which is coming up here. So you can see all these job code is basically, team, it's your position. So here you can see it is like, your null. I don't think so that there is any position actually. Oh, it's a clinical. Okay, I'm not sure if they call some position as a null. I am really not sure into clinical department how actually it works, but you can see there's quite a lot of null what they have it here. Okay, it may be, I'm not sure, but so this is nothing, team. It's just your position that you have it here, and in bracket what you seeing, see this is in the bracket what you're seeing that here, this is your code, and outside this is actually your description that we have it here. Then let's move ahead a bit further, team. This is your division. So here you have it all your division and everything. So whatever your division and everything that you have it here, you can see that here. Then this is your location. Everybody needs to have a location here into success factor, right? Which location they actually belong to. Location is nothing, it's just a city, team. So in maybe like, if you are into India, it's like, some people would be from Chennai, and some people would be from Kashmir. So like this, you have a variety of people. It's like, who would be falling. So this is not. So it's just a. So you can see it's like, city is your Sydney is your actually a city. Arlington, Virginia. I think there's a difference. This Virginia is a. Okay, I'm not sure. This is US. I think some anybody is from the US in this batch. Shiva is from Singapore, and I think Siddharth is from Bahrain, right? Kishore is from India, and Himlata, from which location you are?
I am in Gurgaon.
Actually, you are in from, okay, all right. So here you can see, team, there is a two different place, which is coming up here, which I'm not sure, which is city and which is I think both are city only to me, because if you can see that here, this is US, so I think US is the country, right? So I think both. I'm not, but I am not very sure about the US city and everything. But so I'm somebody from the US can only actually tell you about this. Like for example, in this case, you can see here. Okay, now here in this team, you will not see any uniformity in the data because there are multiple people who are working into the system, right? Once I am done with my demo and everything, then people also they go ahead and do all their stuff, and so that's the reason you will never see the uniformity into your data. So like for example, here you can see again somebody has taken as a CA, but CA is your California. So I think California is a state, right? I think maybe what they
Yes.
this is a city and this is a state,
Yeah,
where
California is a state. Virginia is a state.
yeah, Virginia is also a state, right? So here you can see your Virginia as a state. What they have, this is what the first detail, the city, and this is what the state. What they have, somebody has taken that here. But I think if you're doing it for one, then you should do it for all like this. So there should be some uniformity, but anyhow, we can't control. It's a demo system. We can't control it for everybody. Then here you can see your time zone, and in time zone also it's like, in US they have see, in India we have only one time zone. So I think we follow that which New Delhi time zone, right? Or New Delhi or Kolkata time zone. That's any one time zone that we follow that here, right? I think Kolkata comes, right? Kolkata time zone that in India that we follow. And then here you can see it's like, you have your this in US also. I think they have a five time zone, right? Eastern, Western, Pacific, and Central, and I think one more, whatever they must have. So this is your time zone, team. So here you can also see it's like your time zone, some for Europe. So this is actually not whoever has created, that data is not proper. Shock stock law, I don't know which what actually it is, but Is this is a Euro time zone? I really don't know. Then here you can see it's like PST and everything, whatever they have it here. I think somewhere at the last time it's like I saw okay Italy also. Europe, Italy. No, no, this is not a time zone. I don't think so. Italy is in Europe, but Europe is not a time zone, right? So that's actually wrong. So like this, you can see, team, that there are some data which is actually not correct. So you should actually have the proper data and everything. Your hiring date also, you can see some of the hiring date which is actually not correct. Like for example, here you can see 2010. This is fine, but then in some cases you can see 001111. You can't have a person for living for so long, right? So, but actually, there is a problem with my Excel sheet also.
Ashish, but then how does the system allow you to go ahead with a wrong form of date or wrong form of time zone? I mean,
Okay,
the system won't stop it or throw an error.
system will only stop you. It's like if you make it a mandatory something. If I make it a
But
mandatory.
how about the hiring date? Won't it say it's invalid date 0011?
No, but this is not an invalid date, right? We as a human being know it's like that a person cannot live for such a long time. But for system, it is a fine date, right? Correct. See,
Okay.
01010011. It's a date. We know it's like
Ashish,
Yeah, sure.
Ashish, normal date format is based on the profile setting in R3.
Yes. Yes.
So, but what
Hmm.
was the default format being set by admin or some other?
Yes, that's actually true. In my system, it's like this Excel version which I'm using. It's actually an old version. So in this case, what happens? This this forward slash that you're seeing that here. This is not there in my Excel sheet. So what happens? It's like the moment I'll change that something, and it will come to hyphen, and this hyphen it does not take it as a date. So that's the reason I cannot even change the date also for for this hiding date that you have it. But anyhow, it is creating your this account. But in your real life, this when you'll be creating for your client team, ensure it that and that your date and everything it is actually proper and everything that we have it here. All right. Okay, now here that you have it here as your employee ID. So your employee ID team, it is, let's suppose this TCS, we are discussing about this. Now, this TCS, okay, the TCS that we are implementing team, it is not a consulting company, right? We just took it the name as a TCS. So in this case, before TCS decided to go ahead with the success factor implementation, they every employee, they were having their own employee ID and everything, right? Through which the company they used to recognize them. Like for example, this person, I don't know what is this person name actually. It is, you can see his employee ID. It is coming up 1,000, and then some people you can see whatever the employee ID, whatever they have it here. So in this case, if you want to track all these old employee record, in that case, it's like you can maintain into your this section that we have it here. Or maybe team, if in this case, it's like if you want your this employee ID to be same as a user ID. In this case, what you can do, you can make it as a both as a same ID. So in that case, employee will also not feel any change into the success factor transition, which has happened. Then here you can see again your title. This title is nothing team. It's just your position that we have it here. And then this is your phone number that we have it here. So here you can see all these phone number and everything which is coming into your this section. And here that we have it here. Then this is your fax, whatever the fax detail and everything which your country is providing that to you. You can use that your fax. And then this is your address. So whatever the address one, address two, then your city that you have it here. So here, now here you can see it's like your city that you have it. Then this is your state, your Z, and then further you have it here as a country. So here you can see your country detail which is coming into your this section that we have it here. And then this you can see it's like I think this two detail that we have it here, which is your a and AB. This is actually to do with your something to do with your goal and performance management, but it's actually not required. Then another detail you can see here team, which is coming up here as a custom field, which is from 1 to 15. You will see that here. So here you will see it's like, they have it here till custom field 15. In this case, anybody wants to ask something? Okay, I would really appreciate, team, if you don't have any question, just mute yourself, because there is some background noise. It comes, and which, so I feel that somebody has actually unmuted to ask some question. Then where we were, okay, so here you can see it's like, you have this your field which is coming into your this section, which is your customizable field that we have it here. In this case, team, let's suppose, if you want to maintain some data into your this section, maybe like for example, you do not have a date of birth, right? So in this case, what you can do, you can mention this your date of birth that we have it here. So here it's like, you can see your this date of birth. So in this case, what I can do, I can mention this date of birth, though I have written as an abbreviation. You can write it as a complete date of birth, and you can start mentioning your date of birth into your this file. And so next time, it's like, when you will download your this file, you will see it's like, this has all date of birth that we have it here. Now I'm going to revert it back here. So this is what this success factor it is giving to you. They have a total, this 15 customizable field that you have it here, which you can enter it from 1 to 15. That, and I think somebody from this batch, they asked me, I don't know, I don't remember what we were doing it. I think somebody asked me from this. I think in one of the screens, somebody asked me, what is this customizable field? I don't remember that, or maybe from this batch or from somebody other batch, they actually asked me what is this customizer. So whose question it was, team? If from somebody from here? Okay, I think it was some different batch, team. So okay, so here,
Ashish,
yes, sure.
for user ID creation, is this many fields really required? Well, because I see with this Excel sheet, these
Yeah.
all are from relation, like employee information.
Yes. No, no, this is not the employee information. See, it is only the user account you are creating that here. See, when you create an account, you need to have some information also, right? You need to have some information in terms of the first name, last name. You need to also have a division, location, and your address also. Maybe, let's suppose some police case has happened, and the police comes to you into your office, and you can't tell to police, right? You don't have the address for this employee, right?
It, address and those things should be the part of employee master data, right?
Well, see, in employee master data, you will have lots of data. Okay, but this is only just so, like for example, in this case here, employee TCS is only going ahead with the goal and performance management. So in this goal and performance manage, yes, Chaitanya. Okay, you want to say something from big classes? All right, no problem. Sure. Okay. All right, so here we have it, your this detail that we, okay, just hold on, team.
Ashish, isn't this employee master which we are creating, or that's something else? I'm
No,
asking,
no,
like,
no, no. This
when
is this is only just an account creation, Siddharth.
okay, employee
We
master we create separately.
Yes, yes. Employee, see, employee master, when you'll be creating that, you'll also require the family member detail. You'll also require you're married or not. Since when you're married, what about your children, detail and everything, because in certain cases, you will also be nominating your family member for something, right? Then they will also require for mediclaim your parents' detail. Then they will also require a permanent address, temporary address where you are, right? And then there are various data, like your payroll data will be required, your time data will be required, your bank detail will be required, right? So all these detail which is required, right? This we are doing it
Okay,
only an account creation.
okay, Ashish.
All right,
Okay.
considering the fact that in this case, TCS is only going ahead with the GMN performance management that we have it here. Okay, where I stopped last, I completely forgot. Uh, Okay, I think we did this. Then we have it here as a matrix manager, custom. Okay, custom. So did we complete custom? Did we complete finish off with the custom or okay, so all right, so we have done with the custom, right? So custom is okay. Now one more thing, team, in your custom field, it's like, you know, you can see everything has a two label that you have it here, right? This is a label only which you should change it here in the custom one. This is the custom label that you are seeing that here. This is a success factor system ID. You should never make a changes into your success factor system ID. All right. So like for example here, you know, let's suppose if I make it here as a date of birth, so how the system will recognize which is this custom to? System will recognize, you know, once we will upload your this data into your success factor, it will recognize with a custom 02 that this the field it has been changed to your date of birth. So never make changes to your this field. However, you can change your label to anything whatever you want to do that here. Okay, so we have it here as a matrix. Matrix, what is the meaning of matrix, team? Let me ask, uh, what is the meaning of matrix?
So Ashish, if we
Hmm.
give this say custom 02, like you were taking this example, under
Uh-huh.
this we put DOB, right? So when we
Hmm.
create a user, a new field with DOB will appear, and whatever value we feed under DOB will get fed at under that. Is it?
Well, these field it will only be you know appearing into your this section. Let me, as it's not going to be the complete your employee center, but this screen would be something very different, team, what you're going to see right now. So whatever, you know, I'm just going to upload it, you know, and whichever whatever it has been created, like for example, you can see in my detail, you can see all these detail that we have it here, it is coming into your this section that we have it here. So you can see some of the data it is not maintained, but all those data which is maintained, you can see into your this section which is coming up here. On most of the detail I have not maintained into your this section that we have it here. Do remember, team, your employee central screen looks very different, and there is a reason that, you know, we are using this system. You know, there's a some reason behind this. That's something which we will discuss that into your when we will start with the employee center. All right, so whatever you upload it here, Siddharth, in this case you are just creating an ID, and only just here only you can see into your subsection which is going to come here. If you want to do the manually thing here after your account has been created, okay, this file, team, it's a mandatory, you can't skip this actually.
Okay.
All right. So, like for example, in this case that you have it here, in this case, if client is not going ahead with the employee central, so since they're not going ahead with the employee central, so you can't create it from your this section. So in this case, you will have to take the help of the UDF only, this file. So in such cases, your UDF file is mandatory to create an account into the system that we have it here. All right, so once your account is created, later you can come here and make whatever changes you want to do that here. You can go ahead and do that. But at this point of time, you will have to go ahead and do all these mandatory information that we have it here. All right. Any other question, team?
Actually, what if client does not
Okay,
want to
team,
fill all
team,
the
can you just hold on for 5 minutes for a question? Let me just finish it off because otherwise I forget it. Where I stopped last, you know, I completely forget that.
Matrix manager.
Thanks for reminding, Kishore. Okay, yes, I was at the Matrix manager, but just hold on to your question. Let me finish it. Otherwise, you know, it gets very difficult to, you know, continue with the flow. Okay, so here, because I don't think so, there's nothing much here. So just 5 minutes here. So here you have it, your default. Okay, Matrix is your dual manager.
Dual.
Yes,
Yes.
Matrix is your, who was that? Kishore.
Ah, yeah.
All right, Kishore. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Fine, Kishore. So Matrix is your dual manager. So here you have it, your dual manager. So in this case, in team, like for example, you people are, some people are already into IT, and some people are going to begin with IT career. So in this case, what will be happening? Very often you will see it's like, at your base location, which means where you have joined your company at that base location, you'll be reporting to somebody else. And when you go on the project, let's suppose you have joined in Hyderabad, and from Hyderabad they will keep on rotating you to different project. They will send you to, let's suppose, Kanpur, and from Kanpur it's like, you have gone there for a project, and there is a different project manager. So now that project manager is temporary, right? So he's your matrix manager. So that means a dual, because original manager is your this manager. That's where it's like, where we have actually maintain your this manager that we have it here. And then going ahead further, team, this is a default your US detail. Okay, now this system has a default US detail that we have it here into the US account and everything. Proxy is team, that's something which we still have to discuss about it, and still it's pending. So let me just write it here so that I don't forget this proxy. Maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow we're going to touch on this topic, because it's a quite a lengthy topic that we have it here. But what is proxy? I think that's something which I have already, in short, I have already explained to you. I think during my demo and during the first session that we actually started. Okay, now this custom manager is very similar to your matrix manager. I think there's somebody who has just created and done all these activities. So here, team, your all these UDF file work actually stop. Now I have to create your one UDF file before I create it. I think Shiva was having some questions. So Shiva, ask me your question before I go ahead and create your account.
Okay, what if my client does not don't want to upload this much information? He want to only upload certain information like user account, address, and full name and email address.
No, but Shiva,
The
how
system,
would you differentiate, which department, which division this person is working? You also need to differentiate, right?
those things will be anyhow in the data, right?
Okay. See, when you master data, you talk. Okay, you're talking about employee central.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, see, if you're using employee central, in that case, you don't need to use UDF.
Okay, sorry. Understood.
All right, team, if you're using your master data, you don't need to create the UDF. UDF, I am showing that to you when in this scenario where we have it here, where the client does not have employee central into your this section. Then how we going to do that? In this case, you should be using your this detail. However, in your employees central also, there is a two option which you can create it. Either you can create it from the system, which I'll show you into employee central. Another, you can use your this file also that we have it here. All right, so that's something which we will see that into your employee central, Shiva, which I actually at this point of time I don't want to show because it will be very confusing for everybody then.
Okay.
So,
Yes,
Ashish, are you saying that UDF and the employee central data cannot exist together? Either one of them have to be there?
no. See, let's suppose you have just created your. Okay, now in this case, continuing with your scenario, what you said, Himrata. In this case, let's suppose TCS they have implemented goal and performance management. After 6 months, in this case, it will happen December 2018. After that, they decide to go ahead with the employee central. So in this case, whatever the data, some master data, whatever they have taken and which has been maintained into the system, so you don't need to maintain those data. So you can continue after the data which has not been maintained then. All right. So in this case, if you have the employee center, both the file get merged into one. No, it will not merge. It will not merge, but the whole data will be shown as a one.
Okay.
All right, don't get confused, team. It's a completely different system. I do understand, that you people are because in SAP actually it's a very different way, right? Okay, now there is a reason why all these things happening. Why this UDF file, and there is another way. Now that reason actually I don't want to reveal it right now because I don't want to further confuse you people. But at this point of time, just focus only on that you have to create this. If you want to have to create an account where in a company employee central is not there, you will use this UDF file to create an account for an employee. All right. So is it clear now, team? A yes or no?
Yes, Ashish.
All right.
A little confused here.
Yes,
So if
Siddharth.
we use this file,
Yes.
so it's either UDF file import into SuccessFactors,
Hmm.
or we create master data using Employee Central. Is it so? Am I understanding? My understanding is correct.
Yes. So your understanding is absolutely fine, Siddharth. So in a way, yes, you are right. So either you can use this UDF file, or either you can use um that employee central, that we're going to see that later on. So either of the option you can use that to create your master data for the employee. This is also an master data creation only, right? Though we are just talking about an account creation, but if you look at it, this is also a kind of a master data itself, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So in that case, if a new employee joins, we will just create him in Employee Central and not here. It's either this or that. Okay.
Yes. If your employee central the company has taken, in that case, don't use UTF. Up to you, but it's up to you. Whichever way you feel more comfortable, it's up to you. But okay, UDF file does not stop here only, team. Okay, we are just using the UDF file only for account creation. Uh, okay, now team, I further I don't want to, because I don't want to reveal many things because it will further confuse everybody. So because if I go ahead further and if I explain to you all those details, it will further confuse you. I think let's just hold on to your UDF file only, and just with this way you can create your user ID that we have it here. So is it fine?
So, Ashish, the example that you just gave to me regarding that TCS decides to go for Employee Central.
Mhm.
So, if they decide to go for Employee Central, then and if they already have user directory in their system, they will
Mhm.
simply move the data from user directory to Employee Central and then add the additional data that they want.
Yes, they will have to add the additional data. That is your second part. It
They
is
do not
correct.
have to redo all the
No, no,
data
they
that we
don't
already
have. They
have in
don't
user
have
directory,
to.
right?
Yes, absolutely correct, Hemlata. They don't have to redo anything because this itself is a master data. So whatever it is not available, in that case, you can go ahead and maintain those data then.
Because there must be some kind of integration, right,
Yes, yes,
between the
it is
user
already
directory and
integrated.
the employee
Yes,
central.
yes, that's true. This is already getting integrated, and so that's how actually it is. Now, let me just go ahead and create an account, but team, I don't think so. I have time because it is already your this, and I think even to create an account also, it will take lots of time for me to do that. So, any other question, team? I think we can utilize it for question and answer session. Okay, now, Hemlata, we have a actually, that last 10 minutes we actually use it for question and answer session. So, at like for example, your session is starting from 8 to 9. So last 10 minutes I leave it for question and answer session. So in this
Yeah,
case,
I know.
it's like something which is out of topic or something which is not from the current topic. You can utilize it for in the last 10 minutes where you can ask all those question and answer session.
Okay.
Hello, Ashish.
Yes, Kishore.
Ashish, I have a doubt. I want to tell you, provisioning is
Hmm.
the backend configuration tool, whereas instance is in front end.
Provisioning is a
Is a backend configuration tool, whereas an instance is a front end.
you can say that.
Am I right?
Yes, you're right, Kishore.
Oh, thanks.
All right, but provisioning it's only used for you're activating and deactivating your module. That's the only purpose provisioning is used for. Otherwise, provisioning does not have any other importance.
Okay.
Ashish, provisioning will only be done by SAP themselves, is it? In this.
See, in this case, scenario, Siddharth, if I come into your this section, so in this case, when TCS has actually gone ahead and decided to go ahead with the goal and performance management, and the company is going ahead with the license and everything. So obviously, your success factor sales or operation team, they will activate your all these detail. But in this scenario, it is like, what is happening, your consulting company, whenever they come into the picture, so in this case, let's suppose if they have to do some fine tuning, so they also would be requiring the provisioning detail, because for the fine tuning which is actually needed. So that is the reason consulting company also might get an access to the provisioning detail, but only those people who will get an access to provisioning system who have at least 3 to 4 years of experience.
Yes.
All right. Right. Any other question, team? We still have 5 minutes. We can utilize this. So, team, keep on practicing it. I have already shared a lot of document to with you people and everything. So, if people have come across any document and everything, so you people can actually ask and everything. And that was one thing. And all right. So, any other question? No question. All right, team. So we will connect tomorrow, and we will start with the same topic: how to create your user ID. I think in that case, I'll create one account, and then we will upload it into the system. All right. Chalo. Okay then, team.
Are you there?
Thank you, Ashish. Bye.
All right. Bye, team.
Thanks, Ashish.
Yeah. Bye, Siddharth.
Bye, Ashish.
Bye, Kishore.
Ashish, are you there?
Yes, Emilata, I'm there. You want to ask
Can
something?
yeah, Ashish